Hi and welcome back to this bonus lab. In this lab we're going to learn how to export our virtual machine out of ESXi. You may want to do this for a number of reasons. You want to put it onto another ESXi version that you have running. You may not have vCenter because vCenter allows us to use vMotion to actually move those virtual machines live while they're running into another host. Unfortunately, with vCenter you need to have vSphere, the full version, and you need the license, and it can be quite expensive. So how would we do this with ESXi? Well, go to your virtual machines in your left pane and then right mouse click on your virtual machine. So I want to export my Windows 10 VM, so I'm going to say export my Windows 10 virtual machine. I'm going to click export, and that's it. It's going to export it and save it to a location for us, and then we can actually use that VMDK disk and import that virtual machine should the need arise. So I'll just wait for that export to happen. It should happen pretty quick because our virtual machine is very small. And as you can see, the virtual machine has exported. I'm just going to drag it over, and you can see it's exported the OVA file, which is over here, and there's my VM, and I can actually come into the properties and I can actually import that virtual machine. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and say virtual machines. Let's just close that down and click create a virtual machine, and now we would say deploy a virtual machine from an OVF file or OVA file. Then I would go next. I would then say Win102. And the nice thing is I can drag and drop my files from there, and it puts it in the downloads folder. So I'm going to drag them over. Let's just move this over to the side a bit so we've got this here so we can see what's going on. And I could go ahead and just drag and drop those files in there, and that would then connect that. Or I could go next and select in here. I could select those files, click open. My files are now in place. I could go next. I could put that onto that production store, go next. I could say let's use it as a thick VM. I could choose the VM network. I could say next. I could go ahead and say finish. And what it's going to do now, it's going to import that virtual machine for us. And it can take a little bit of time to import. If you notice at the bottom here it says it's uploading, so we'll just wait for that import to upload and we'll carry on with the lab. And this is very nice as well because you can see here we've got a nice taskbar, and this taskbar tells us exactly the progress of what's happening. So we'll just wait for this to complete and then we'll carry on with the lab. And as you can see, my export was successful. And I can drag this down and I can do some quick filters and I can see exactly what's going on. I can go ahead and do a refresh, and there's my Windows 10 VM that we've just imported. If I click on it, you can see there it is. We are ready to go. And if I click on that VM, it's already firing up for us automatically. So we'll just wait for this VM to fire up and then we'll shut it down. And there we go, our VM has successfully imported into VMware, and it's as easy as that. Again, come down to our actions over here, and we can go ahead and power off that virtual machine. We can go ahead and do quite a few things. If you notice, it already has VMware tools installed. That's why the guest OS is all grayed out. So hopefully you guys have learned a lot in this lab. I'd like to thank you for signing up to my ESXi course. I'd like to thank you for supporting me on Udemy and on LinkedIn and on YouTube. And I look forward to seeing you in future courses.